Hey guys, it's Sam. My last video, I tried to be very concise with my feelings about a topic, and I'm just going to go ahead and warn you. This is going to be quite the opposite of that. I'm going to try to flesh everything out and walk through and talk through everything because I feel like talking through things kind of helps solidify in my head exactly what I'm thinking and feeling, and kind of helps me come to a decision sometimes when I don't have the decision in front of me yet. But for whatever reason, when I sit down to do a video and I talk through it with you guys, it helps me. So here's hoping, because I have some undecisions that I feel like, even though I made a video about a month or so ago about not making planner decisions for 2024, now we're in it, This is the day after Thanksgiving, and the next few weeks are going to be really, really busy at work, and they're going to be really, really busy at home, and I'm going to have a lot of things going on, and I feel like my window has just completely gone away for getting my crap together for the new year. And so I just kind of wanted to go over with you guys what I'm looking at for decisions and some things that I haven't even talked to you about that I have purchased for 2024, because even though I have no issues with switching planners or buying the things, it's my money, I can do what I want. Sometimes it does feel like, okay, why did I even do that? And I think I'll just talk a little bit more about those kinds of things as they come up in the video as well. But hopefully you have some downtime with the holidays, and you have a snack or a warm beverage by your side, and you are ready to kind of listen to me talk out my planner choices for 2024 today. So if that's something that interests you and you're in here for the long haul, welcome to the chaos. Okay, so this year has been all over the place for me. Last year was all over the place for me, and I've talked about that a lot at length. I had a very short video recently where I was like, stop apologizing for planner hopping. And I talked about some of the reasons that I have issues with planner hopping. But truth be told, outside of my anxiety and my PMDD and my type A personality, sometimes I just get bored. And there are so many reasons why all of us just decide on a whim to change our planner. And I've been trying to remind myself of the things that work to try to minimize that for the coming year, because I have found this year, with as much as I want the freedom to do as I please and make decisions on a whim, if I went over in this video what planner stack I've had for all of the year, it would be a very, very long video indeed. And maybe I will make another video on that, because I did a planner fails of 2023 way early in the year. But I have so many discarded planners for the year that I just don't want to revisit that. Although I have the money to spend and it's not hurting my family in any way, I use money from my YouTube or selling other planners to buy any planner that I have. It still doesn't feel good to look at things that didn't get used. Especially if it's been a repeat, I've tried this several times in a row and it still hasn't worked. So I'm just trying to keep all of that from happening. The other thing is I'm going to be doing a low buy for 2024, not a no buy. I have certain things that I'm not going to allow myself to buy, but it's definitely going to be a low buy. And that's nothing that anybody has made me feel like I should do. I see the excess that I have around me with certain things like stickers and washi tapes and things that I'm not using, things that I should be using, and I just need to get through my stash. And so I have this in several categories in my life, like mugs and coffee mugs and stationery. There's a lot of things. So it's not just my planner hobby related. Now I'm gonna have to, we can't find my box of Christmas mugs right now. That's gonna drive me insane, because I had told myself that I wasn't gonna buy any Christmas mugs this season because I have plenty. But if I can't find them, then I'm gonna need Christmas mugs, right? Who's with me? All right, so the things that are working on a daily basis for me right now, let me go ahead and grab. I've got my little trifecta. These are the things that get most used on a daily basis. I do have a fourth thing, but it can come along with me or not. It'll come into view anyway. So the Hobonichi Weeks, I've used it for years. I've loved it for years. This has had a few like empty spots in it, and I think that that's generally a reflection of when I'm really struggling with PMDD specifically. And truth be told, that's the thing that makes me planner hop the most, is when I'm dealing with the extreme anxiety of PMDD. And it's also the time that it makes me, I don't know, I feel less motivated to do anything in any of my journals or memory planners specifically, because I don't know what to write down, because I'm struggling so much mentally that I don't want to write that down. And I know that some people find great comfort and help in that. Sometimes I'll just write PMDD in my planner, but I'm not going to write about anything specifically, because I don't want that trigger to come back and like put me in the same place mentally. So you can see here, I didn't have anything written down in these 2 days because I was really struggling at that time. And yeah, I even like had whatever going on with my planner, and I ripped this out of a spare Hobonichi and pasted it in. Like this is what causes me the most trouble. Even more than like scrolling Instagram and seeing something beautiful that I just want to try myself. The PMDD is the thing that causes me the most issue. But Hobonichi Weeks, I have a ginormous pile of these, and they really work for me, and I love this book, and I can't imagine not using it. So the Hobonichi Weeks is a keeper for sure. And then I am in personal rings currently, although I am considering a hop back to Pocket Plus, but I really am enjoying the space that this gives me. And so I'm very torn about that, because I already have inserts purchased for this. I have new dividers purchased for this for the new year, because I have decided that I can't handle life with no dividers. And so I already have things coming for personal size, or already here for personal size. But the good news is most things that I have for Pocket Plus are already purchased as well. I would just have to like rebuild it. So it's possible that it's rings of some sort, but the size for now is decided. But since everything will be purchased, I give myself permission to jump to Pocket, because sometimes it's fun. The other thing is I have been doing almost daily journaling again in my Hobonichi A6. And this is something that I kind of started the year off with. Journaling is like one of the first things to go for me when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And part of my problem is that I kind of feel the need to share, and I shouldn't have to share. And in reality, I do really enjoy going back and looking at memories, but I don't enjoy looking at all of the empty pages in this one, because I didn't keep up with it. Quite honestly, I just kind of forgot about why I wanted this to begin with. So these are the things that I'm using on a daily basis. So this comes with me wherever I go. And these two things, they get updated almost every night. I've made it a habit. I carry a big Portland leather bag around with me, and it stays in my bedroom, or it travels downstairs with me, or wherever I'm doing the thing. I used to always kind of do all of this planning stuff here at my desk, but I just haven't been anymore. I've got like a new routine, an earlier evening routine, because of my earlier work schedule. So it goes work, home, workout, food, family time, and then my husband and I go upstairs to our bedroom. Both of us will be like writing things down. He's like writing down budget stuff, entering things on Excel spreadsheets, and updating his own planner. And then while he's doing that, I'm taking the things that I want to remember from what happened in the day, and I'm putting it in my Hobonichi Weeks as a very short form kind of memory planner. And then I'm also updating with a short journal entry in the A6 Hobonichi. So that's working really, really well for me. I do also have, which doesn't get used as regularly, I do have this Stalogy, and its intention beginning in April was for it to have my like my weight loss journey, my fitness journey, my healthy journey, and I kind of just have seen that I've spilled most of that over into these other things, and I feel like it wasn't as necessary as I thought that it was going to be. I just envisioned myself doing a lot more, like writing out every day like what my food was and my calories and notes about my workouts, and I just haven't felt the need to come in and do that. So I have some entries filled in, and I have some moments, and I have a picture or two, but I haven't been consistent with this. Of course, this is an undated book, and the beauty of that is that I could continue to use this until the pages are empty, but I do have a feeling, as much as I do love the Stalogy, that this is probably not going to be something that I keep up with. I think that even though this is like the same concept as the like A6, having it be a page for each day of the year, that if I'm not going to be using it regularly, I don't know, I don't stick with larger notebooks usually historically that don't have like a daily purpose. I should have ordered the half year, and maybe I would have made it farther with this, but I'm just kind of overwhelmed with the sizing of the book, knowing that I'm entering information in it so infrequently. So this will still be around, and I'm still going to carry it in my bag for now, but I have a feeling that I'm going to fall off of this eventually, because all of that information is making its way into the other planners. I just thought that I wanted to focus more on this in a more private way, where I didn't have any possibility of this information like making it to Instagram or anything, because I didn't want to share any of this. But I've just found that less of it feels private and can go in those other systems better than I thought that they were going to. So that brings me to, like, that's what's been working well for me, and that brings me to what I have around here for planner choices for 2024. And I haven't even brought everything over. I still have like a couple straggler things, like planners that I've picked up from Target or Walmart, little cheap $5 things, and things that I have sold that are not in this pile. And I kind of wanted to wait until I made my final decision so I could share like in a full, these are all the things that I purchased for 2024. But if you know for sure you're not going to keep things, it's just better to get it out and get it sold, in my opinion. So that is what I have done. I'm going to go over some things that I haven't even shared with you yet, actually. So this will look even worse than I thought it was going to. Okay, anyway, I'm not apologizing. So the Commit 30, I purchased the 2024 version, and I had several months this year where this was like the planner, and I was really, really enjoying it. Honestly, there are a couple of things about this planner that aren't my favorite. I have never really liked planners that don't give you any kind of grid or line. I really rely on those kinds of things to like help me write a straight line. I know that that isn't like anything for so many people, but it is an annoyance for me. And I got past it because it has this paper that I feel like I could use any pen on. When I was getting really, really annoyed with the Tomoe River paper, I was like, yes, 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 I was all about it. I like that this is kind of, in my opinion, structured almost perfectly for the way I like to do things. Putting the, you could put your work schedule here, or you could put the weather here, or a memory of the day, or whatever. The to-do list that you can do here, I always had to white this out because I don't mix my work stuff unless there's like some kind of offshoot big meeting that I'm never having going on, and I just want to write that meeting down or something to help remember to not be late for it, or if I'm working from home, which is going to be a regular thing at some point with my new job, but right now it's just when it's very needed for me, and I'm thankful to have that option. But yeah, not having work things mixed up. So I don't like that you have that. I do like that I can put things down here, and this feels good. The problem with the planner for me is that I have realized that really vertical layouts are not my favorite when I'm not busy. And so when I was really busy in certain weeks that I was using this planner, everything looked all nice and filled out, and I felt really good about it, and I felt like I got all the things out of my head. and onto paper, which is the point of planning for me, to get things out of your head and not leave them trapped to get lost in your brain. And I was kind of disappointed. I did do like an unboxing that I never filmed with this. I just feel like there are 0 changes to this planner. And I have felt with other companies in the past that they have taken feedback about things that could be done better with the planner, and they've rolled with it and taken that customer feedback and made changes. And besides like the quotes being different and or like rearranged, I'm not sure which, because it's been a while since I opened this. This planner has had 0 changes, and there are some things that I wish would be changed about it. This is one of the things. Some people are not happy with the color, like the tan accents on this planner, and I am very neutral, so that didn't bother me. But this isn't like the same on this side. I wish that had changed. There was just a couple of things that I thought this planner could be different, changed. I just feel like it could be changed. A few things that would make this an even better planner, and there were no changes made to the planner. And so when I saw that, I didn't feel drawn to it to use it for the next year. So this is gonna go into sale pile probably, because I just don't see myself using it again. And then the other thing that I haven't showed you, and I haven't even shown myself. So a couple of years ago, I purchased the little passport TN. Let me get out my little cutter. The passport TN, because it had the record thing on the front. And the thing that I don't like about Travelers Company is that they always have these editions. Like they always have their covers. They always have their covers, like the plain covers that you can purchase at any time, although they do cycle through and make certain ones limited, it seems. But like every year there's stuff that you can only get for a limited time, especially if you're at least in the United States where I'm living. I don't have any stationery stores anywhere near me in northeastern Ohio, at least to my knowledge, that I've been able to find. And so you are like, okay, I either have to purchase this quickly, even if you haven't made a decision on if you want to use it or not, or you're going to pay like exorbitant fees to purchase like on Etsy or eBay or through somebody else who's reselling it. And so like I bought that record one and I was like, oh, I'll use it to write down like when we go to the record store. And then I ended up not using it ever for that. And I felt guilty that I had purchased it and other people wanted it. So I ended up selling it for what I paid for it. And now I completely regret that, because it was really pretty and I totally could have used that. And yeah, anyway, that's the story of my life basically. So when I saw that like all the Travelers stuff was releasing, knowing it was all limited, I went ahead and made several impulse purchases from Tokyo Pen Shop. And like, why I do the things I do not know. But so I was like, okay, so this stuff is dated and it's limited, and I'm not gonna just like wait until the year starts. I'm gonna actually try this ahead of time. Let me try to get this open a little bit more. This is like the worst cutter ever. It's completely worthless with this kind of thing. Packaged really well, guys. Packaged really well. Kudos to Tokyo Pen Shop. So I ended up ordering a cover. I don't even know where it is. And the undated stuff. And hold on, I might know where it is. Okay, found it. So I had like really romantic feelings about this situation. And I was like, yes, this is going to be the one. This is the, you know, the beautiful cover and the holding it in your hand and carrying the memories. And literally, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it was undated or whatever. For one, I've never been a fan of the bands in a traveler's notebook. I don't like writing over them. I don't like that hump. But I was like, this is kind of like Rings and a bound book. It could be like the marriage of the two, and this is going to be great. So all I ended up doing literally was writing the same week over and over again, and I never was happy with it. And so I don't know if it's because of it being undated, because, you know, I'm not, oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, I found my weight loss goals paper. I looked for this everywhere the other day. And I made my third goal, and I only have 4 listed, which I think that I actually will have 5. But because I feel like I've landed on my like ending number. Anyway, this is what I'm saying. This is what happens when you planner hop too much and you can't find your crap. Okay, so I envisioned this being like my Hobonichi week's layout, and I was hoping that this could like replace it, but that's not going to happen. And then this was going to be like my diary, right? But it feels so big to me, and I love this leather. This is the camel color, and I thought that it was just wonderful. And so when I tried my camera just like stopped filming, and I don't know why. So I had finished this thought. It's big. I didn't like the strings. I decided not to open any of this stuff because it's dated and it's limited and I can sell it. But then I also decided that I was going to get the smaller version and Passport because sometimes I like to use the pocket Moleskine, which if I'm going to get that, which I haven't gotten yet, I'm going to have to do it like soon because I'm going to be on my low buy. But I do like to use the pocket Moleskine, but I hate the monthly because that one page, it's just not enough space to use in my opinion. So I thought if I got these little tiny things that I could combine those with the pocket Moleskine, or this would just be able to be like a throw in my purse. I don't know. It's small and I like cute things. So there's that. There is that. I told you that this was going to be a while. So I warned you. This is the opposite of the last video that I did. Okay, so here are the things that I know for sure. The Hobonichi Weeks, as I've already said, is like my match made in like planner heaven. This does so much for such a small little book. I absolutely love it and I will be using it. However, I was waffling on my decision, and it was honestly the fault of the cousin that I showed you guys recently, because I purchased the cousin Han and I was like, oh my gosh, this cat print is prettier than I expected it to be. And then when I realized, because I did purchase a half price Hobonichi cousin, and I tried, and I wanted it to work. I thought that this would be the thing. I thought that I could do this. And so I used it for a couple of days, and I was just like, you know, I don't know that on every day I have a lot going on, and I don't know that I want to try to make up the space. And I could be completely wrong with that. But the other thing is, I am not enjoying the vertical layout. And so I was like, if that whole section of this planner gets unused, then I just feel like that's a shame. And so I decided I'm going to sell this. So I do have like a set. I will be posting it on Instagram. I have this, I have the clear cover for it. I have the pen, I have the little bag, I have all of the little things. So I'm going to be selling this guy. But then I was like, oh, but the cats, because I have and love cats. They're my favorite animal of all time. And so I was like, maybe the leather version was like the wrong move. And it is just a tiny bit smaller, both in the width and the height. And so this doesn't fit so well in the clear cover. Does it fit? Yes, but there's just a little bit more room and it looks awkward to me. And so I was like, I don't know. But honestly, this happens most years, and I make a decision on a Hobonichi Weeks, and then I completely decide on a different cover. And I love this, and it's gonna stay at home most of the time. You know, if I have done this, I don't remember. Let me just see how it like fits in a cover, and this shouldn't matter at all, because since it doesn't leave the house, it really should not matter. this plastic likes to, it fits fine. It just likes to like suck to the leather. I would be perfectly fine using this outside of a cover. There's so many options that don't involve covers, and this shouldn't be a thing, but it fits fine in here. It feels a little big, and I like things to be as like compact as possible, and it does want to slide around inside the cover. So I thought, well, I'll use a plastic cover on it, but it's just a little big in my opinion, because this cover is just a little bit smaller. But if Hobonichi had messaged me and said, what plain color would be the best option for you, I would have said olive green or rust, like a rusty orange, like this color. And so like, how could I not use this beautiful, simplistic cover? If it had been in one of the fabrics and it would have fit inside the clear covers better, this would not even be a thing right now. So right now I have 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could make this a fitness planner, but like the Stalogy, I just don't keep up with multiple books that way very well. So like, I'm fine with this being a journal, and I'm fine with this being like my messy rings that comes out. But if I have, again, I keep like trackers in my Hobonichi weeks where I list what my workouts were, and if I have like any kind of weight loss victories or whatever, I put those here, and my workouts go here, and I have like my health trackers and all of that. So I don't really need a secondary health planner of any variety. And so I'm like, well, you should just sell it then, but it's really, really pretty. So I am all over the place, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just admitting it. I'm just admitting it. So I do have the issue of, if I make a mistake in my Hobonichi, I like to have a backup Hobonichi to steal a page from, and then I will still get to experience this pretty cover. But I have another decision to make still that might involve this cover, so I'm not sure if that's the right move or not. But Hobonichi Weeks is definitely making it to the lineup for the year. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this rings here and this Hobonichi Weeks here. So we have that. And then I also have the A6 English planner, and this is going to be my like little short form diary, because I'm just not the person who likes to do long diary entries. And as I build up this practice or this habit, that might change about me. But for now, this has been working really, really well. So I'm going to stick to it. This is going to be my journal. And I like that this one feels like it has less going on because of the way the English version is made. This feels more natural to me for a diary. So this is why I chose this for my diary. However, now that it's coming up on, I have to get my crap together and make these decisions, I have been looking again at the original, the non-English version of the Hobonichi A6. And this is what my brain sees as a daily planner. As you know, well, if you're not new here, as you would know, sometimes I just don't feel like we're using rings. Rings work really, really well for me, but sometimes I get bored, and sometimes I lose my mind, and sometimes I just want to do something different, and that is completely fine, and I'm definitely not apologizing for it. But when I do have that moment, A6 feels really good. I like the lay flat of the Hobonichi. I don't mind the soft cover or anything like that with the Hobonichi. And I like that it has the check boxes. I like that it has the timeline. I feel like this is a very natural split thing for me that's already there. You have the timeline. I see that as where I need to be. And this is the place where I think a little bit of snippet of a memory for the day. And this is like a running to-do list. My issue becomes that I don't keep up with this, but I almost feel like I would like to have this as an option for a little daily planner. And I feel like there would be some overlap between these three things if I ended up going with all three, but the books are all small enough that it still wouldn't take a lot of time. And I would have the options. So the thing is, this year, this particular planner is now available in English, and it's also available in the Han. So you have the ability to have this as your hardcover of this. And I do like that it would look like the Hobonichi Weeks, and that it would sit on the shelf and you could see the year. So I feel like I want to buy one of these in the Han so that I have like my shelf of 2024. So now I'm very torn because the like that floral is one of the options, and I think I'm feeling very leaning toward that. But if I don't keep this and I want to sell this, then I'm like, maybe I should get this in the Hone or the Han, however you say it. I don't even care, for the A6 size, because I know the A6 size will work for me better than the cousin, because I just don't write that much, at least for now. Maybe one day I would expand. I would really, really, really love it if the cousin came in a non-week version, just the months, just the days. And I know that they have the day free, but I like the dates being there for me. It kind of helps keep me motivated to keep going with it, even though it doesn't show this year, but that's another story. So I'm torn between getting this in the cats or the one floral, and I'm only gonna buy one, and I need to make the decision soon. So that's where we're at with that. So I'm gonna just leave this here because it's gonna be a thing for a choice, and I'd like to keep up with it, but if nothing else, it's a choice. And the other thing that is for sure this year is the daily Moleskine, and this is going to be for work. And I love that I'm not going to need this very often at all, so it's fine that these are smaller and the one page, but I keep like a running list of the things that I have to do, little side notes. I like the idea of this being dated. It's the soft cover, it's 2024 daily Moleskine, and this is in the size large if you're interested. This is, I think, sapphire. So this is going to be for work. You're probably never, ever, ever going to see this again, but I will talk about it in updates throughout the year. But this is what this is going to be used for, and I'm pretty confident that's going to be a solid choice for me. And then the only other thing I think that I haven't sold is this Leuchtturm, and I forget what color this is in. Port red is what it says. And I thought that this was like a really nice, like, you have your like neutral moody colors, and then I kind of like a boho pop of either like teal or this like fuchsia-ish color. I kind of just like the way that feels. This is what I envision using as like a commonplace book or a morning pages. My problem right now is that I'm not getting up early enough to do morning pages because I'm trying to sleep until the very last moment that I can. So I'm not sure how much or if this one will get used, but I wanted it here. It's here. I was very torn with the whole, I am not a dot grid person. I know so many people love dot grid. I haven't like jumped into this one because honestly, I'm afraid of the dot grid. I prefer lines or a squared grid, and I kind of feel, I don't know, I feel like my handwriting is a little bouncier in it because of all of the space that's left with the dots. But I don't also see me sharing this, and it's already purchased, so I need to just like write something down in it and like take away that fear. So this is I don't know how often this will be used, but it's in my lineup for the year. So I feel like I have my decisions made rings in either personal or pocket, and I have everything that I need technically to like make do with either of those things. And the Hobonichi Weeks is going to be my memory planner system because I really like this to look pretty after the fact. I don't like my Hobonichi Weeks to look messy. I love to see other people's messy Hobonichi Weeks. I just don't like mine to look like that. And I have to do what makes me happy. So this is going to be in the for sure pile. This is for sure going to be my journal, and this is going to be my possible planner hop, or maybe this will be love at first sight. Help me decide which should I do. Should I just do the English like this one, or should I go with the Han, and which cover should I choose? And then this for my possible morning pages / commonplace book, which I think it's going to be more morning pages because I think that commonplacing makes more sense in rings to me, because then I can go back and put it in a section and keep all of that information together instead of it being separated and feeling like I have to tab everything. And then this for my work planner. So that is, I feel like I have made as many decisions as I possibly can so far. I'm really happy that I've narrowed things down and weeded things out. I'm going to be selling the cousin. I'm going to be selling at least the standard TN stuff, because what's it going to hurt for me to keep this little monthly calendar? And I'm going to sell the Commit 30. So I have sale piles. I have some covers that I'm going to be getting rid of because I just have found what I'm using and what I'm not using, and I have too many bags, I have too many planner covers, I have too many planners for 2024, and I just need to kind of simplify some things. But I'm happy because I feel like, aside from this, which is going to have some repetitive information from these two things, possibly, depending, but I really want to have it as a hop option for sure. I feel like I'm not really doing a lot of like, I have this planner and I'm writing exactly these same things into this and this and this. There is some repetition between the rings and the weeks, but like I said, I don't need to keep my rings pages, and I want to see them in a prettier form, and that's what the weeks is for. And I just feel like it's not overwhelming, and it's in the layouts and the types of books that I prefer, and I'm really, really happy. I'm excited because I feel like this array of things that I can kind of mix things up with is going to help keep me from feeling like I need to hop, hop, hop all year. And then of course the limitations of the low buy are also going to help with that, because I'm going to have to, I don't know, I'm going to have to like sit down and talk this through with my husband if I feel like I want to do something major, because not because he like gives me permission to do those things, but like if I am making a commitment to have a low buy, I have reasons behind it. And so if I decide that I'm going to break that, I need to talk through that with my very wise counsel so that I can see, is this hormonal? Is this, is there really a reason to do it? Or do I just need to say, I don't want to use my planners for a couple of days while I work through these feelings, and there's no reason to purchase anything. I don't need my dopamine hit. I'll just go lift weights instead and get through it. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about my choices. I just have this one thing that I still need to get settled. Am I keeping this? Am I not keeping this? And what am I buying for the different layout of the Hobonichi A6? So that is my lineup. The next thing I'm going to be doing is setting up my weeks, because I absolutely love doing that, and I will be sharing that with you here as well. I can't wait to get a couple of these things like out of my stack, because I don't like feeling this. I mean, if you just go like this, it feels a little overwhelming, but knowing that this is really kind of not part of the planner lineup, and that this is going to be a non-thing, this feels better for sure. But I would like to have it narrowed down to just the 4 books, and I guess the Stalogy, but like I said, I don't think that's going to be really hanging around. But this doesn't feel overwhelming to me, And I can't believe that earlier this year I was like pretty sure that I was going to be throwing Hobonichi out the window, and now I'm like, I feel like I'm like digging in and I'm like, no, it's definitely staying. More so next year than most years, I guess. Anyway, I'd like to know your thoughts about what I should choose, and how's your planner choices coming along? Have you made your final decisions? To share my final lineup and decisions with you. Can't wait to talk to you in the comments below. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.